The 200 million event just released in Bubblegum Sim, and oh boy does it have some problems. This update was pretty small in comparison to update 3, which introduced the board game minigame paradise thing, but I mean this update really just included a secret bouncy board, an underworld rift, some changes, as well as the 200 million live event. But one part of this update has caused a lot of issues with the game, and especially hate to the developers. Last update, when update 3 came out last weekend, we were introduced with the minigame paradise, which actually brought in something really cool, which was this board game around the entire map. And to be honest, this board game is a pretty cool feature. I mean, Pet Sim kind of did something like this before, but the way they implemented it into this game was very nice. Basically, what you could do is roll the board, get a lot of random stuff with the chance of what you can land on, and you could basically time it to land on a certain tile. So for example, if I want to get only one tile, I'll just roll a 1 just like so. Boom, I get this one, and now I have another golden dice, which means I should be able to roll a 1 again. Yeah, like look at that. Boom. Now I'm guaranteed to get on a question mark tile, which it could have something good for me to use, but usually it doesn't. Now, something specific on this board captures everyone's attention more than literally anything else. And it was this one right here, which if I actually go into free cam, you will see that the one this dude is standing on is the infinity elixir tile. Before this update, when you landed on that tile, you were basically guaranteed to get an infinity elixir, and this infinity elixir will go straight into your inventory. So meaning you could use it right then if you wanted to, or you could just save it for later. One of the changes they made with this update was now when you land on this tile, it instantly uses the infinity elixir. So whatever you're doing, bro, you better give that up, because now you have an infinity elixir to use. But unfortunately, it's a lot worse than just that. There is a thing that you can get on the question mark tiles, which I mean, I'm probably not even lucky enough to land on. But if I can hopefully land on one of the question mark tiles, you will see that there is an ability to get an infinity elixir. But that tile was kind of like the jackpot, and what it would basically do is it instantly applied an infinity elixir, but it was 2 of them, so you would get 12 minutes in total instead of 6 minutes into your inventory. That was also really good, because if you were like grinding this game egg, it would definitely help you out a lot, and you could quickly transition into it, or maybe you were doing both of them at the same time. But the developers reduced that to 1 infinity elixir as well. And the worst part of all is the evolved potions in my inventory. As you can see, I actually don't have too many of them. I was using a lot of them because I had over like 300 of each. And for infinity elixirs, as you can see, I have 174. That is insane, bro. Before this newest update, I literally had like around 30 or 40 until they added this board game, and I got like over 100 for free. But the evolved potions were told to the community that they were gonna go untouched. Right here, Rumble Studios said that they will keep evolves the way they currently are, and that they were going to be mainly nerfing the infinity elixir and not the potion itself. So the robot claw was supposed to get nerfed, and it did. Same with the super tickets, as well as the instant elixir from the tiles. Now, the one thing that we were told isn't going to get nerfed, and a lot of people were happy about, was the evolved potions. And, well, they did get nerfed. And the developers had a lot to say about that, so I'll show y'all in a second. But the community has literally been outraged, because now if you land on a question mark tile and you try to get the evolved potions, it is not as good. Matter of fact, I don't even know if you can get it anymore. Like, from what I've been told, it's very uncommon to get or something. Okay, here we go on the tile. And yes, as you can see, 10 random potions or plus 4 high tier potions. It's not even good, bro. What the heck are these potions? You were literally guaranteed to get 3 evolved potions, and now that is no longer the case. Look, there is an instant infinity elixir, but it's only 1-2 now, and 10 random potions again. I mean, it's just trash. It does give you the higher up potions, but the problem is that for the evolved potions, you literally cannot even craft them. So the only way to get them is obtaining them through the board or other things, such as like the chest that you open keys with. And well, the developer's message has definitely been very long in order to respond to this. I would read all of this to you guys, but as you can see, it's just so long, bro. It would take me like 10 minutes. Yeah, I'm a very slow reader. Quit judging me, okay? But basically, the developers mentioned the fact that, you know, a lot of people did obviously not expect these changes, especially the evolve potions, because that's what we were told was going to stay the same. And they do understand our perspectives, and they've heard everything that people have been saying and all the issues that has come with it, because the community has been outraged now that they feel lied to, which, to be honest, I don't really understand, considering the fact that the developers have been very communicative, and for them to say one thing and be wrong about it, I mean, it's okay. Like, it's a one-time thing. Sure, it might happen again, but it's not like it's gonna happen every update, and it's better than big games nerfing stuff without ever telling anyone. But a lot of people were still, very mad about this. And there is still that +3 random evolution potions. But it's been dropped down from, like, a 30% chance to a 5%. So it's 6 times harder to get now. And, yeah, it's just not good anymore, bro. This board game sucks. But the devs also did mention that this board game is literally going to be a part of the core of the game, because of the fact it is staying in the game forever. It's never going away. And if they were to give out infinity elixirs like that, it could ruin the longevity of the game. Which, from a developer standpoint, where I've like made multiple games, that's true. You definitely want to make sure you have a good core of your game before you start adding a bunch of stuff to it, especially if it's going to be in the game forever. And well, when you can constantly buy these dice keys, tickets, and potions, like, it becomes super easy to get these infinity elixirs. And in my opinion, it's broken. One thing though that I think the developers could have done a very good job on is placing a cap on the infinity elixirs, similar to how a lot of things such as the coins and the gems have a max in this game. Infinity elixirs could have also had a cap of around 100, because now you have people in the game who literally have thousands. I'm not even joking. I've seen some people with over 1,000 of these infinity elixirs from either just doing the board game, which in my opinion is the best, because you could almost perfectly time it to land on the infinity elixir, and since it goes straight into your inventory, it's literally there permanently. And also for the people that play the robot club, because this is also a fairly easy thing to get infinity elixirs from. Now, it has been nerfed, so I don't think it's as easy anymore, but yeah, I mean, at least you can still get evolve potions from this, which I think is nice. From what I'm pretty sure about, they did not nerf the evolve potions from the claw machine, which is good, because this still does give you a decent amount of claw or evolve potions. Even though it's not the greatest, it's still pretty good. And I mean, you're still getting 5 of the V potions every time you pick one up. So W to the devs for not nerfing the claw machine as much. The one thing I feel like I can highly agree though is that the nerfs to the evolve potion were obviously probably not needed. What the developers could have done to actually make it really good, in my opinion, is nerf it from 3 to 2 evolve potions that you could randomly get. That nerfs at about 33% instead of it being a 6 times nerf, which is just massive. Because the board game has now kind of been replaced with this little one spot, which, by the way, this island that you can get, the underworld island, is literally a % chance of getting to spawn, which in my opinion doesn't even make sense. But like, look, you could literally get nothing to happen. You have to have like 5% chance at the bare minimum to have the underworld island to spawn in your game, and it's only spawnable, so there's no other way to hatch that egg unless you spawn it. And the devs overall have been pretty loud about it. The good thing is they are actually responding to the community on these changes that they've implemented. It's not like they just made these changes and then decided not to say anything because of the hatred, which is a lot of the time. Like, that's what most devs do. But in this game, bro, like, we still know when they're gonna be adding new stuff, and like, they explain why they've done something the way they have. Overall, I think this update is better for the longevity, not only because of that, but because they added so many quality of life features. Like, the goods of this update outweigh the bad so good. Like, first of all, you have rift eggs, and eggs in your inventory now show up in the index under the events tab. They do say that unfortunately eggs from your inventory were not tracked prior to this update. So if you did get stuff before this update, that obviously didn't work. And that's just because the developers can't actually do anything. But right here, they literally added auto delete from eggs, or like 4 eggs that are inside of your inventory, which is really nice. A claim all button on your playtime gifts, which is amazing. Not to mention, in the playtime gifts, they added a new Vaparium pet, which is pretty decent, I guess. They added the ability to remove keybinds. They added hatches and bubble stats in your inventory. And best of all, bro, they literally added a secret pet exist count in the game, or at least they brought it back. So now you can kind of see how much of each pet exists inside your inventory. As you can see, I have like 2,796 Easter baskets, and you guys might be shocked on how I've added like 4 more secret pets or 5 more into my inventory. And don't worry, I will have a video up on that very soon. Oh, you also can't forget about the fact there's now an auto button on your mystery boxes, which is definitely very nice to use because, bro, I don't want to be clicking to open this myself. Oh, and I didn't even notice that the series eggs also has this index. So I guess they did input the series eggs as well as the season eggs too, probably, right? If I go and hatch a bunch of these, and then also probably the season 2 eggs. And there we go. Like, this should be going in my index, right? Yes, it is. Look at that. Obviously, they don't provide any rewards because it would be a little bit unfair for them to, you know, put rewards to stuff that is going to be limited forever. But something that is very good with this update, obviously, you have the new secret bounties, which for now, it looks like this one is in the underworld egg, which is really bad. But what this basically allows you to do now is you can actually hatch the infinity egg once again in the normal world, which in my opinion is now the best egg to hatch once again, because the 200 million egg is also included in this. There it is. As you can see, we just got a cute deer from it. And I mean, not to mention the fact you can always be getting the secret bounty unless it's inside the underworld egg, then you can't. But other than that, you're always going to see it inside of the infinity egg. But overall, a lot of opinions are mixed, and it's going to be very interesting to see how the developers kind of move with the game in the future. I mean, they can't rely on making the infinity elixir the best potion and like extremely hard to get forever. So eventually it's gonna have to get easier, but I guess now is probably not the time they wanted to do that. But bro, please help us out with the evolved potions game. Y'all gotta keep making these easier, because no, this is getting hard. If you enjoyed this video though, go ahead, please check out this video. It's a lot better, and I went ahead and picked it for you because I really think you're gonna enjoy them. So go ahead, pick one of them. I think they're pretty good videos, and until then, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Bye.